level kind of a training. So they are going to be provided with some kind of materials. Those are known as training aids. Training aids are used to help the trainer to make the audience understand the concept, to support the learning activity, which make the training programming program successful. Makes the training program, not programming, training program successful. Next is why training aids, why we are going to use it. Training aids are useful to facilitate different kinds of learning styles. Some may require, technical training, or equipment training may require some kind of equipment. That is, demo can be a different learning style. Classroom training, teaching is a learning style. Online learning is a different learning style, and that helps reinforce what you're saying and summarize the key concepts. Who is saying over here? Who is reinforcing? This concept is introduced by the trainer, or the subject is introduced by the teacher. So the learner as well as the trainees, they will be getting a sense of, first hand idea that yes, some knowledge or some skill we are going to learn when we are getting a demo of particular thing. Ensure that your point is understood. Whose point? The trainer's point. Signal what is important and essential when we are, so for example, providing skill based training in IT sector. Programmed instruction is a method whereby trainees are to follow a sequence of occurrences, so that ultimately they will learn a particular thing. So in this, the trainer has to again see to it that the trainees are understanding whatever instructions are provided by the trainer. Uh, and as well as make them understand which things, which sequences are essential in the training process. Enable trainees to experience something that is impractical to do in life. So whatever is not required in the training program is to be again clearly stated by the trainer towards the trainees. Engage or stimulate trainees' other senses in learning process. Why other senses are required? Because, say for example, why the senses are required? Because when we are totally aware, all our senses are going to help us understand. So for example, there's a tangible product. When we see something, we are interpreting a particular thing in front of us, so that is again learning. Only listening to a particular thing is not helping us learn holistically. To get a better idea, other senses are also required, and they also help the trainees to learn better. Instructional or training aids must be well prepared, well presented, readable. That is legible, visible to all, appropriate format for the room and audience. If it is a PPT training, then it should be relevant, which is pertaining to the topic, which is in which the training is provided, and up to date. The latest information which is available in the market is to be provided. Next is advantages and disadvantages. Is the slide visible to all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay. The advantages of
सर आपका वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है.
is it audible now?
Yes, sir. It is clearly audible.
Okay. The advantages of training aids. Why we need a training aid or a deliverable or a training material? Causes more than one sense to be involved in the learning process. When I see an equipment, I get to understand what kind of a equipment I, as a trainee, need to master or need to understand. So my other senses, if I feel something to touch, then I'm understanding how delicate a particular product is, and I get to learn about it. So invariably, if I don't see a product, I only learn via hearing, then I won't be able to assess or grasp how delicate a particular material or how delicate a particular equipment may be. Next is disadvantage, no permanent record of what was written. What was written over here? Why there is no permanent record? What do we understand by this first disadvantage? Anyone? What do we understand by this? Mr. Parida, I guess my voice is clear to all. Maybe there is some network problem from your end. What do we understand by no permanent record of what was written? What do we understand by this? Come on. Good morning, all. Let us keep this, session again interactive, so that I'm able to, reach out to maximum and finish this presentation fast, and I can move on. What do we understand by this? Anyone? Unmute yourself and tell me.
Sir, might be while training, we cannot record everything because every movement cannot be recorded. Might be that could be the thing.
Okay, that is one way of putting it. Anything else? Anything else?
Sir, as per the schedule, means what training is being conducted, the subject is being modeled as per that. It changes each and every time.
No, so the keyword, what you're trying to say is we are being flexible when we are presenting a particular, training program to our trainees. So that is acceptable. Hence, what happens is, I'll, expand both of your points. One is we need to be flexible when I am presenting a topic to my students. I need to be flexible enough to provide my students with a variety of options, variety of examples, so that the concept is better understood by my students. What happens is, if I am going to have a particular way of speaking, most of you may not understand what is being taught. So when we are providing training to our trainees, there is no particular sequence. Yes, there is a formal sequence which needs to be followed. But when we are adding and when we are going to clarify the minute details, then we are going to come up with some innovation and creativity to make my students learn. So hence there is no permanent record of what is written. Next advantage is allows for more rapid presentation of the material. Rapid is when there is a PPT or an equipment or a deliverable which is provided. If I'm providing my students with the adequate presentation, adequate materials, adequate reference books as a PDF material, my students are going to be better prepared during the time of examination. Similarly, my trainees are going to be better prepared when they are going to transfer the training on the job. Next is instructors back is to the audience. Basically, in a classroom teaching or in a training area, when there is a large group of trainees or a large number of students are there, what happens is the trainer obviously focuses on the whiteboard or to write down something or present something. Most of the times, the person is not able to, or the trainer may not be able to assess who's physically present but mentally absent. But and that creates what? The problem will be the training effectiveness will reduce, which is crucial aspect for any organization. All training processes or the organization is only a cost till you get the productivity. If there is a productivity, positive productivity, then what happens? The training will eventually become an, I have mentioned this. If there is positive output out of a training, which is a cost, then what do we call it?
Pardon?
If training yields positive results, training most of the times I will call it as a cost. Okay, there is a cost to the company. If training yields positive results, then what is it called? Yes.
It
Can
is
we
a
all
successful training and the company will grow, sir.
again? What did you say? Can you repeat what you just said? I am saying training, which is most of the times cost. If it yields positive results, then can I call it as an investment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If the training is not effective, then it will be a cost to the company.
Yeah.
It is again a
Yes.
loss. Again, I am going to bear the cost of retraining the people. See, I haven't taught you the basic fundamental, or rather, I'll focus today. In training, what we are doing is the first step is unlearn.
लास्ट में जो चैट अभी कर रहे हो
Then second is kindly mute yourself, whoever is speaking.
मैनेजर हुआ
Unlearn, unlearn, relearn. And there is one more that I have forgotten. I'll clarify in the later class. Unlearn, relearn, and the process is like that. When I have learned a variety of things in the earlier areas which is not required for the job, we have the training process focuses on helping people unlearn those skills or unlearn those knowledge. Then they are relearning. What they are relearning? Whatever is required for performance on the job. Hence, coming back to our presentation, advantage, the training materials allow for more rapid presentation of the material. The limitations on portability and audience size. Why there is a limitation on portability and audience size? Because if an equipment training is provided and the equipment is a small one, a delicate one, then the audience size cannot be extremely high because it will not be visible to the audience. So we have to come up with appropriate audience size whereby the effectiveness of the training is ensured. Next is often results in more rapid initial understanding. If I am the only person who is without a presentation online, if I stop the presentation slide and only continuously speak, then there is not going to be any kind of learning. With the slide, with the points present on the slides, if I'm explaining the slides to the students, then the learning is going to be much more rapid and faster. Next is the writing must be legible or visible. Or if I use a font which is not visible or legible, then this particular point which I have highlighted now will not be able, my students will not be able to understand. So I have to write something which is easily understandable also. Promote increased retention. Increased retention in what? Not on the job, but where? Promotes increased retention in the training process. Cannot talk while facing the board. I cannot speak when I'm as a trainer. I cannot speak when I'm looking at the board. But this is again a relative thing. Most of the teachers, when we are writing down something on the whiteboard, we are also explaining, we are also interacting with the target audience are students, facilitates learning process for a variety of trainees learning styles. So what say A, uh, I, A, B, C, there are three students or three trainees. A has a particular type of learning, B has a particular type of learning, and C has a different style from unique from all the both of them, A and B. So the training program ensures that different styles of learning is provided to different trainees so that the effectiveness is ensured. A training program should also understand what is the different unique requirement of each and every individual trainees in the learning program or in the learning process. Next is uh, disadvantage involved trainees. Involved trainees, why it is a disadvantage? When we are involving trainees, what is the disadvantage? When we are providing material, training aid, they're not fully equipped to handle the equipment. They're not fully understanding. There may be wastage, there may be breakage, something so on and so forth. Have plenty of chalk markers, recap and recap markers. So that is there. Next is some examples of training aids: chalkboard, whiteboard, flip chart, overhead projector or transparent sheets. This is transparent sheets. Next is PowerPoint, data projector, smartboard, audio tapes, CDs, video tapes, DVDs, podcast. Okay. Among all the above, we will be covering all of them. But what is podcast? What is podcast and how podcasting helps in training? What is podcasting? Come on, most of you are tech savvy, most of you are aware of what is going on. What is podcasting?
Like Alexa
No. What is podcasting?
sir.
Yes, continue. I'm waiting for the answer. Any one of you
Sir,
can, share your view about the particular point.
this is like Alexa. We can hear the songs like downloaded data. Yeah, we can manage this.
Sir, it's a digital medium.
Continue. It's a digital medium.
Consisting of audio, video, sir.
And what happens there? How can you, provide training via podcasting?
In that any particular theme will be selected and there will be questionnaires or discussions in that.
There will be questionnaires.
Means a discussion between two persons so that we can when we'll see we can understand the what was that exactly.
Okay, fine. I'll just, is the screen visible?
Yes,
Is
sir.
this screen visible? Kindly focus on this slide or this image in the Google. A person is sitting down with mic and headphone. Can this particular person be our trainee? Listen to my question carefully and answer me. Or rather, look at this image. This particular image, which I am indicating via my cursor. Can this image construe as training?
Yes, sir.
Do all of us agree?
Yes, sir.
When I am able to, um, address address a lot of audience. A lot of audience can be addressed to podcasting. How when I'm going to say, for example, assess or address a technical group of trainees via podcasting, I can also use the I'm already using headphone mic. I can also take the help of visual PPT kind of a thing presentation, and I can present my topic to my trainees target audience. Do all of us agree or not?
Yes, sir.
So what happens is when I am, targeting, I am at a remote location. A trainee at that particular point, maybe in a remote location, maybe in a foreign country, that person, as an expert in that particular area, can help the trainees to learn.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys convinced or not? Or is there a issue with what I'm saying? No? My expert is from a different area. That person cannot physically come and train my employees. That person is an expert. Say a person is an expert in behavioral modification technique. That person is to train the middle and the top level employees in my organization. So we are podcasting. That person is training the trainees, both the mid level as well as the top level employees of my organization. Is it possible or not?
May not be, sir.
Why?
Because he or she may is a remote area, na? The communication may not be possible in that area.
Remote location accessibility is there. The person may be on a foreign trip. The person may be, living in some other city. In that case, can it happen or not?
Yes, sir.
No, no. Your friend who was not convinced. Are you convinced or not?
Yes.
So next, moving on. Chalkboard, whiteboard, colored chalk construction. How we are going to, how it is used. Colored chalk and markers can enhance the presentation. Important points can use colored markers, and for normal explanation, white markers can be used. Using trainee as recorders can increase involvement and free instructors hand. So I can tell the trainees to write down the main points so that the trainee learning and enthusiasm levels do not drop. Proper use, reliable, dependable format should evoke consistent responses. Evoke whose responses should be evoked. The trainee's responses need to be evoked. By whom? The trainer. Repetitious should support presentation, stress the important points, summarize and reinforce key points. Repetitious means repeating a particular thing. The activity, when training is repetitive in manner, the examples are repetitive in manner, the process of understanding is repetitive, that repetition process helps training to learn. Similarly, when we are providing an equipment, when training is provided, if the trainee is repeating a particular, training, then what happens is repetition makes person perfect, or rather, it reduces wastage and increases the efficiency. Next is advantages of chalkboard, whiteboard. No advanced preparation is required. Disadvantage, time consuming if you have a lot to write. Obviously, if there is a lot of topic to be covered or a concept to be covered, it is impossible. Used when displaying a complex chart, table, or diagram. Handwriting may be difficult to read. Legibility, so on and so forth. Light effects, so on and so forth. Technology is not dependent on electricity, so better chalkboard and whiteboard are there when we if there is a power outage, then we can better present the topic. This chalkboard whiteboard is again the presentations that are provided or it is used in many companies nowadays. Reliance earlier used to do it. I have been to their office, I've seen that. Whiteboard is there so that the manager will come up and present the problem at hand, not necessarily in the training aspect, but to chart out the day-to-day programs as well as come up with the responsibility of different employees or different members of the team. Turn your back on the audience. When we are turning our back as trainers to the audience, their level of enthusiasm may reduce. It happens in the classroom training. If we turn our backs, the students will gossip among themselves. Next is, can be used by trainers for problem solving. If it is say for example, knowledge-based learning, is provided to enhance knowledge, then the whiteboard is better to present the concept. Can't go back to something you have already erased, so you have to rewrite it. Flowcharts or flip charts. Most of us or some of you guys may be working in the marketing area, FMCG or otherwise. I'm talking about only the tangible marketing products. What happens is when you are going to come up with a marketing campaign, there are different kind of or rather in production also, different process charts are provided to the trainees to make them understand how a raw material is coming and what processes does it follow, and eventually what happens to the finished product. So everything, the process is shown in a flip chart. When to use: if electricity is unavailable, we enable trainees to illustrate group reports, provide a written record of records made by trainees. So flip charts basically are helpful when we are going to understand what is the process which needs to be followed individually, and training can assess what are the key areas in the total production process. Next is tips of using flip chart. Take the room, equipment beforehand, get your own pad for new sprint, write out important pages in advance. Don't put too much on a page, carry a collection of whatever pen. Next, flip charts. Construction, commercially available, needs a stand, can make your own. Proper use, complicated, time user consuming. Illustration should be done ahead of time. Do not walk with your back to the audience. Writing should be legible, involve trainees. Writing notes to self in pencil and so on and so forth. This you can go. Advantages of flip cards: inexpensive, can be made from paper. Reasonably portable, can be saved, dependable, encourage spontaneity. What is spontaneity? Whereby a trainee can directly ask questions to the trainer or the person who is providing the training, and get the clarification first hand when the presentation is going on. Room lights left off. The disadvantage: limited writing space, changes are messy, instructor back to the audience, limitation on the size of the room and audience. So overhead projector, have you seen overhead projector where transparent sheets are used?
Yes, sir.
Right now there is electronic thing is done where laptops are used, but earlier it was a transparent sheet where uh, you know some message, some concept, some material was written down by the trainer, and the trainee had to go through it. So overhead projector, prepare complicated transparent sheets or prepare the transparent sheets. Ahead of time by hand, computer, printer, photocopier, whatever. Arrange in order, use something to keep in order, number them. Cover unwanted portions until ready for the audience. So what advantage in overhead spreadsheet was I can cover when I'm showing a diagram or when I'm showing a chart, I can cover the portion and make the audience come up with their own answers and eventually show the other portion which is hidden so that they can assess how or what is the how the result has been attained. Next is leave on long for audience to read, take notes, etc. Highlight, point out key concepts, involve trainees. Construction, go through it on your own. Next is advantage, attention getting, really relatively inexpensive, easy to prepare, instructor can face audience, reasonably portable, can sometimes leave room, lights on, fairly reliable machinery, and can write on while talking. So I can add more data to the transcription when I'm training. Disadvantage requires equipment, must know how to use, troubleshoot, change bulbs, so on and so forth. Limitations on the room and audience size. Can be blinding to the instructor, can be noisy, can drop a group of transfer sheets, transparent transfer sheet out of the order. Okay. Next. Overhead projector transfer sheet. This again go through on your own. PowerPoint presentations. Do I need to cover all these things, or can you read it on your own?
So we can read it on our own.
This I
So we
don't
can
want
read
to-
it, sir. Already have an idea about them.
No, then I'll start with the next. Training evaluation and criteria. Okay. By going by this topic, tell me why training evaluation is a crucial function of any organization or for HR department. Why training evaluation is a very crucial function of any organization.
To assess the impact of training on the organization and find the return on investment.
Very good.
How it was.
Very good. So to understand, by conducting a cost and benefit analysis, what cost is being provided via training, and that assessment can be done when we assess the benefits. Benefits over here in the long term, we are going to assess return on investment via assessing the return on investment. Return on investment is the return word is basically what?
Profit.
Profit.
Benefits to the organization.
Benefits to the organization. How benefits are generated or how profits are generated?
Benefits means in terms of productivity, in terms of
Yes, the keyword
performance.
is individual productivity, sir. Yes, the
Yes,
keyword
sir.
is individual productivity. So
Yes,
we
sir.
are performance
Productivity
appraisal.
performance.
Via performance appraisal, we are going to see if the cost incurred to provide training to my trainees is yielding positive results or not. Let us move on. Training evaluation. Why? What is the point of having it? Training is an investment whose results are not evident immediately, or it is not clearly seen immediately, but eventually, when there is what of training? As a trainee, I have learned something. What am I going to do? What am I going to
So-
do?
I am implement the transfer of training.
Very good. Transfer of training. Transfer of training. Whatever I have learned on the job or the training program, I am going to transfer that training on the job so that it helps the person, the subordinate, the training to increase the productivity and have a better confidence level. In KSA terms, if I have learned some new knowledge, if I have acquired a new skill, then it is obviously going to show in my attitude and I'll become more confident. Confidence. The justification of all training programs can be made only when they are critically evaluated in terms of advantages that an organization gets in comparison to the investment made by the organization to train such employees. So, we are assessing ROI. ROI. Am I clear? Return on investment. All of us agree to it?
Yes, sir.
Next,
Yes,
moving
sir.
on. The training cycle. First, we are going to identify the training needs or need assessment is done. Setting objectives of what? The training program. What kind of training is required? What level or which level the training is going to be provided to? Level being your top level, lower level, middle level, so on and so forth. Next is choosing training method or media. Method may be on the job, maybe off the job. The media may be see what kind of training I'm providing. Here we can also add the expert. Is the person in-house expert or we are hiring an expert from outside or what the expert may be a online program which is there. So whatever, we are going to choose the methods and media. Each and every process evaluation is done. This is a question answer. This why evaluation is there in each step. This answer one of you will give me. Implement training. When I have come up with what kind of methodology to use to provide training, who or what materials are to be provided, what kind of training I am going to provide, to whom I'm going to provide the training, then I'm going to implement the process. Implementation, then we are going to evaluate the training process. Is the training, kindly listen to my question carefully, is the training evaluation, when the training is going on, the evaluation, can we do it in a phased manner or not? If the training is provided in a phased manner, evaluation can be done also in the phased manner, yes? If
Yes, sir.
training is provided in a phased manner, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, then the evaluation can also be done in phased manner.
Yes, sir.
Last point is evaluating training. Evaluating training is basically what? What are we evaluating over here? We are evaluating the effectiveness of the training. So when we are going to, in the first step, evaluation is there. Second step, evaluation is there. Third step, fourth step, evaluation is there. But last step, evaluation of training, evaluation is not done. Why? Who can explain this slide? Think about it and carefully answer.
It is the final outcome. That's why there is no question of evaluation.
Explain the whole thing. Why in training, identifying training needs, evaluation is done. In all steps, evaluation is mentioned, but not in the thing, because what you have answered now is correct. But in rest other steps, why evaluation is a part of it?
Rest all other steps, evaluation can modify and rectify the problems or upgrade it. But in the final outcome evaluating training, there is no further scope of evaluation because it is up to the trainees how much they have transferred of training has been occurred there. But only feedback we can receive from the participants.
Very good. All of us have understood what your friend has just said.
Yes, sir.
All of us have understood that? Or is there a doubt? You can ask me. Is there a
Understood.
doubt? Yes. Moving on.
Understood, sir.
Training effectiveness. What is training effectiveness? What is the definition? Training effectiveness is the degree to which trainees are able to learn and apply the knowledge and skills acquired during the training program. Next is training effectiveness criteria. Basically, there are 4 criteria. Reactions, learning, behavior and results. Reactions. What is reaction? Anyone?
How positively trainees are accepting the training imparted by the trainers.
Next.
That is immediate reactions.
Learning. Next. Immediate reaction can also be negative. Hence, if the reaction of the trainees are positive, then the training program itself is okay. Learning. How do we
Acquiring
assess
knowledge.
How do we assess learning? Through post-training behavior. How I am transferring the learning to the job. What is behavior? A unconfident person is always going to be or show a negative side, but a person who's trained or who enjoys training is going to show enthusiasm or during the training process. Am I clear? Results. What results? The training effectiveness is the major criteria of any organization is the results or transfer of training, that is productivity. Note, post-training evaluation can be understood by 3 distinct phases: intermediate phase or immediate phase, intermediate and long term. Who can explain these phases? Post-training evaluation can be understood by 3 distinct phases. Immediate is the first point which one of your friends has said, reaction. Intermediate and long term. Yes, what is intermediate effect? No one? At least give it a try.
Immediately after completion of training program, when a trainees are going to implement that transfer of training on his job,
Yes, you are
not very
correct.
confident.
No, you are correct.
Yeah.
What will happen
How much-
in the intermediate? Yes, madam, continue.
How much progression is there in the training?
The immediate effect is I am going to be enthusiastic towards the work. I am confident. Intermediate effect is earlier where I was, unconfident, or rather I was not enthusiastic to be a part of a particular project. Then I'm going to be more enthusiastic and proactive towards achieving. In both the steps, the immediate effect is in increasing your confidence level or the attitudinal development. In long-term effect, that particular positive behavior and that positive zeal is going to be, rewarded with enhanced productivity. That is the long-term effect. Next is training evaluation techniques, post-course evaluation, pre and post-course tests, management briefing, management debriefing, questionnaire, appraisal, training for promotion, assessment, development center, survey, trainer interview, trainer observed behavior, participant observation. Post-course assessments are examinations which is done for knowledge. Pre and post-course, where I am standing and what development has been done. So that is again when the parameters, if preset parameters are achieved post the training or not, and pre-training where the trainees were. Management briefing. What is management briefing and what is management debriefing? Yes, most of us are working. Can you tell me what is management briefing and debriefing?
Sir, what is it? Briefing and?
Debriefing, can refer to the slide.
Sir, briefing is something where everyone, all the employees and the managers or senior supervisors, they all get together and plan like what had happened and what has to be done. Sort
In
of
terms
meeting.
training. Explain in terms of training. You are correct. But in terms of training, what is briefing and what is debriefing?
Management briefing may be explaining the positive prospect of the training programs to the participant by the managers or higher authorities. And debriefing just after completion of the training program, when participants explain how much they have learned from the training program to the management.
Debriefing and point number 12. Are they similar?
Almost.
Point number 4 and point number 12. Are they similar?
Yes, almost they are similar, sir.
Yes, almost they are similar, but not the same. Briefing is what? Second point and third point. Pre-course test. Is it similar or is it something else? It is almost similar, but not the same. So management in what is initially briefed about the level of the employees which is there actually. Post the training, they are debriefed about the improvements about the employees. Next is questionnaires. Simple thing, assessing where we stand, and post training again questionnaires are provided to assess the level of increased learning or whatever has been provided via questionnaires. The trainees are to answer certain questions indicating what is the transfer of or the degree of transfer of training which has occurred. Appraisal is done by whom? Immediate supervisors, trainers. Okay, so even your peers are assessing. The normal appraisal is also a process of evaluating the post training transfer of training. Training for promotion. Training for promotion. Come on, discuss, or somebody come give me an idea and we'll complete this slide.
For getting promotion to higher post, some positions need some particular training program.
Very good. Very good. Next. Or it is always there in the government sector. This age-old phenomena is there. We need to be trained to take over a particular position. Private organizations or Western thinking think tanks don't think like that. If a person is creative and innovative, the person can obviously adapt to the professional position which is being offered. Assessment and Development Center. This is again old HR concept. Assessment and Development Center. Most of us are living in Odisha. Most of us know a company known as Nalco. Yes? Yes? Do we
Yes, sir.
know which Nalco is a company operating out of Odisha?
Yes, sir.
So Nalco HRD center is located near Kalinga Hospital.
Yes.
Okay, Nalco's Training and Development Center is located over there. What is an assessment and development center there? The training and development center or via post upon appraisal of an employee. Assessment is done or developed and the post assessment we can assess or need assessment. Post the need assessment, I can assess which employees require what kind of training, and the development center provides the training. In all these things, in all this process, the center is responsible to assess where the employee was pre-training, in the assessment of pre-training assessment, where I am standing now, or the actual uh, productivity or actual behavior what I am displaying now, and what is the post-training behavior which is observed uh, from the training. So in the development and assessment center, we are assessing this survey. How survey is responsible? It is similar to questionnaire, but surveys can help come up with rather surveys help people. They do not have to openly say what is happening. Survey targets large number of people who have been trained, and thereby we can assess if there is a positive development via the training processes. Trainer interview. Why trainer interview is a process of training evaluation? Trainer is evaluated, or rather, some of you may consider trainer is initially going to be evaluated to see if the person is right fit to provide the training program. But what is trainer interview in the post evaluation or the training evaluation technique? What information the trainer is going to provide? 11 and 12 kindly feel that both of these things are the same thing or similar thing, not the same but similar thing. The trainer
They can
interview.
provide the information about training.
Hence, I said, yes, you are correct. Trainer interview or trainer observed behavior are similar in nature. Trainer can also provide, or trainer interview can also provide insights about a lot of things, not only the training which is provided, maybe a skills training, but the trainer interview provides a lot of information via observed behavior about the person or the trainee itself. The person may be a very good, adapting to the training program, but may show a different kind of an attitude in the training, activity. Person may not be, serious in the training program. So all these things are again as extra information provided by the trainer to the organization. Next is models of training evaluation. This is just a simple chart. Please do not read into it. Models are this. Various evaluation models are there. Kirkpatrick's model, Jack J. Phillips training model, CIPP model, COMA model, SINO model, Kaufman's 5-level, and Binkarov model. Tomorrow we are going to start off with this. Today, kindly one of you, remind me via email that I have to send the material today itself. Okay, otherwise I'll forget. Thank you. I'll be stopping today. Any doubt, any question, kindly ask me. You have 5 minutes. Is there a question? Is there any doubt? No? Should I stop today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.